Welcome back to Supers Live. It's time for the Supers Post Race brought to you by Wags Custom and Cool Awards. And we've got the winner, first time winner of the Harvest of Speed in channel with us now out of Union, Connecticut, your 2020 non-wing champion, Dave O. Congratulations. A good way to start out the season here with a win at the Harvest of Speed last year. The dreaded pit suck got you while you were leading. This year you were able to avoid that. Lap traffic treacherous out there tonight. But congratulations. Good run for you here tonight at LaPorte Speedway. How's it feel to get back into victory lane with Supers?
I'm totally surprised that I made it as far as I did. I think I got damage lap 1, turn 1, but thankfully it wasn't too much. And seemed that kind of starting the back kind of helped, to be honest, because by the time I got, everything kind of exploded in front of me, and I was just kind of able to pick my way through as others were battling between themselves, and maybe one guy would drive too hard, and there's one spot, and was just kind of able to pick my way up through there, and was able to get up to Brad and Zach, who had a pretty big gap, and by them. You were up there as well. You were good, and it just worked out the way that Rob and Keith just happened to get the back of the lap traffic there, or start to catch it, as I had some clean tracks, so I was really able to close some time. But really, it was just avoiding lapped cars and trying to keep the cars clean as possible. That was the goal. And now that I finally finished one of these things in a good position, we'll see what happens with my championship efforts this year. And I'm still undecided.
Well, definitely a great run for you here tonight. You know, this is a good way to kick it off if you want to go for another Supers Championship. You know, Ty and Keith Powell, the fastest lap of the race, was a 12.667. Pretty good running out there in that traffic out there. You were able to get up to Keith and almost put him a lap down. Do you think you could have got to that point and lapped into the top three if you had a few more laps?
I think you need more than just a few. It was really how you caught the lap cars, if they're packed up or, one by one. Hard to say. Who knows? They could have had a big bobble there as I was getting up to that big group, and I could have lost maybe 2 seconds there. Because I know happened a few times with Rob. I kind of was watching that gap back to Rob, and he'd gain a little bit as I got up to a pack, and then I'd pull back away once he caught that same pack, if it was even still there. Sometimes he'd just kind of maintain that. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, tough to say. I think Rob and I were pretty close on speed at the end there with our cars, looking at the lap time. So just, working through lap traffic and working through the traffic in general, just making passes. That was the key. Get to the car and pass as quickly and cleanly as possible.
And that is tough to do here at this old track at LaPorte. Congratulations, Dave. Great run for you here tonight to bring home the Harvest of Speed win.
Thanks, Bob, and just another shout out to John, who had a nice finish in his first run here. Completed all the laps, or completed what he could, and brought it home in one piece.
Well, he certainly did. Just 2 laps down, according to our score sheet, and great run. Waving the Canadian flag proud tonight. Congratulations, John Hild. Your first super start on probably one of the toughest tracks we'll run all season long with an old 20-year-old sim racing game. Your thoughts coming home as the Supers Charger, advancing the most positions from your starting place, and getting your first Supers feature under your belt?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy out there. It was fun, but I just tried to make no mistakes. Thanks to Dave for the shout out. That's awesome. I just tried to stay low and not overdrive the corners and hope for the best. But I tell you, there wasn't much clear track for that whole 75 or 73 laps that I finished. And when the leaders cut up to you, it was really hard to tell if it was someone you were racing or if that was a leader running up and in behind your stuff. So it was hard to keep an eye out for all that traffic.
John, now you got a NASCAR heat race on your belt. You get going to R Factor next week for another big Supers race at Dion Parrish Memorial. Your thoughts going from a 1.38 mile track for NASCAR heat to a 3/8 mile track in R Factor?
Well, that track is at the Kalamazoo Speedway, I believe. It's an interesting track. It's going to be the same thing. We have this many cars out there, starting from the back again, because I am a rookie this year. It's going to be tough getting up there and surviving. So it'll be fun. It'll be interesting to do.
So, John, let's give you an opportunity here to give a shout out to your sponsors on the number 17.
Well, we'll give a shout out to the Napa. I've been working with them for roughly 30 years. We show this all at work. I'll post this all up at work. We'll have some fun and some laughs about it. And you know what? I have Coca-Cola as a secondary sponsor just because I drink a Coke about every day. That's just a private sponsor.
Well, you enjoy your Coca-Cola here. It's a little late tonight. You might not want to do that to celebrate, but John, glad you could join us here tonight and get the Supers Charger and the highest finishing rookie of the race as well. Congratulations on your first Harvest of Speed and your first Supers feature event.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. This is a fun group of guys to race with and looking forward to the year.
John Held, ladies and gentlemen, our resident Canadian. You know, we used to have a lot more Canadians racing with us. Maybe he's going to start a trend now, and we'll be waving the maple leaf around a little bit more. But John Held doing a great job here tonight to come home in 8th position overall, moving up 9 spots. So great run for the rookie. Hey, we're going to close things out, but before we do, we want to remind you that coming up next week on the Supers Broadcasting Network, a big one, as we said, the Dion Parrish Memorial at Kalamazoo Speedway, a 62-lap event to honor the namesake of the Dion Parrish Memorial Benevolent Fund for Supermodifieds. Dion killed at Kalamazoo Speedway in 2002, and we race in his memory, and we do it to raise money for injured drivers. So join us next week at 9 o'clock on Supers Live and Twitch for that. Don't forget Real Supermodified Racing coming up this weekend with the International Supermodified Association and 350 Supermodifieds at the Thompson International Speedway World Series of Asphalt Racing. You won't want to miss that. The fastest track that ISMA runs all year. And got some modified drivers going to be making their first starts in the mighty Super Modifieds this weekend. Also, 350 Smack running at Riverside Speedway in Groveton, New Hampshire this weekend. Probably the last Super Modified shows of the season. In fact, we're pretty certain of it. We want to remind everybody, though, before we do close, tonight was the Harvest of Speed, and we call it that because it's a take on what's going on during this time of the year, and that's a harvest of all of our fields, and our farmers are doing a great job of that. American and Canadian farmers, for sure need a lot of respect, and whether you're following them on the road or you're thinking that maybe they're holding you up, remember that they're out there harvesting for the world so the world can eat. Give them some respect, and if you appreciate all the food that you get to enjoy on your table when those or many in the world are less fortunate than us, thank a farmer. Give them a shout out and treat them with some respect on all your roads out there as you follow them during harvest season. We want to thank First to Finish Race Servers, Hairbag Studios, Icings on Top, BreezeGraphics.com, and all our friends at HeatFinder.net and the Mod Squad. We sure do appreciate all of you being here as well. We couldn't do it without you. 17 consecutive years. I bet John Held was happy to see that. You know, number 17 and 17 consecutive years. Kind of matches up. A good time for him to start his rookie season with Supers. Don't forget, you can help injured Supermodified drivers and their families by donating to the Dion Parrish Memorial Benevolent Fund for Supermodifieds. Until next week, we got through LaPorte, and we're chugging on down the road and up north to Michigan next week. I'm Bob Gangler, reminding all of you to keep it wings side up and wheels to the ground.
Someone you love, and if you're going through it, I say do it with someone you love. I've been around a long time.